What's up everybody? How's everyone doing out there today? Welcome back to Wildcat MTG, and today we're going to open up a Phyrexia All-Will-Be-One set booster box. It has been a while since I've actually opened up any Phyrexia All-Will-Be-One, really, and even longer since I'd opened up a set booster box, and I was kind of looking at the set, and it's a really Mythic heavy set, but I've actually found that there's a pretty good amount of value in the Mythics. There are still some rares that have some value as well, but it is by and large a Mythic heavy set. But I will say that it feels, like I said, like there's some actual value there as well. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to revisit. It'd been a while since I opened it, and so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive on in, and let's crack some packs. So as of the filming of this video, the set booster boxes for All-Will-Be-One are about $127 a piece. I'll be honest, I didn't look at the list, so I don't remember what's on the list for this set. I don't know if there's anything substantial or not. But as I mentioned, I was kind of looking over the set, and at least as of the filming of this video, there are currently 7 rares that are $3 or more. There are 20 Mythics in the set. This is really interesting. 20 Mythics in the set. 3 of them are really feels bad. They're under $1. Okay, fair enough. That's every set. There's also a $40 Mythic in here, and then there's a $20 Mythic. But every other Mythic is also between $3 and $20. So not bad when you consider that 17 of the 20 Mythics in this set are at least $3 or more. Plus some actual rares to go with. Hopefully we see a good assortment, and I can't remember what the Mythic counts are. I'm kind of thinking like for a set booster box, it should be like around the 7-ish, maybe 5 to 7. Start out with a foil rare. It is Argentum Masticore, followed by a Norn's Wellspring as the rare. Masticore is kind of cool. A lot of these rares didn't really catch on. Okay, that's right. Revisiting some of this stuff for the first time in a really long time. There are a couple of decent uncommons. Shieldred's Edict is one of them. And there you go. There's a signed art card. Cool. Shieldred's Edict is one of them. There's one more impact uncommon. We're talking like a dollar or two, but no, not nothing, right? Not a nothing burger. All right. Figuring out these piles. This seems okay. All right. Mesmerizing Dose as the foil common. Rare is a Kevik Crucible Goliath Mirror Convert. So there is an Ichor card, at least one. Okay, there's multiple. Again, it's been a while since. Oh, Tyvar Stand. That's the other uncommon. As soon as I saw the green, I was reminded. Yeah. So you do have a couple of uncommons in the set that at least have a buck or two of value. But it is really largely about the Mythics. But we have, top-heavy Mythic sets are not something that is foreign to us as a community of Magic openers. But I was surprised at how well the value is spread out. There is a second foil rare. It is Blade of Shared Souls. I actually kind of think this card is cool, but it never quite caught on for combo. Next rare is Unctus Grand Metatact. Then we have a Blightbelly Rat, sure. Nothing else of substance really in that pack. I mentioned that there is a $40 Mythic. That is Mondrak, and then the $20 Mythic, which is Elish Norn. So those are the two we would really like to see. But beyond that, you still have a Traxa. Traxa is like 19 bucks. Vraska now is like a $15 card, and then Sulfum is right up there as like a $15, $18 card as well. So those are the ones we really want to see. But I was just surprised. It's good to see, again, 17 out of 20 Mythics that actually do have some value to them. Slowbad, Iron Golem, or Goblin. Thrumming Bird, Unnatural Restoration. I was a fan of the set. I do enjoy the set. It was a very fast limited format, which is something that it was just, you drop your hand by turn 3 or 4, and everyone's just top decking at that point. Like, otherwise, if you're not, you feel like you're super behind on board. That's the kind of format it was. Didn't particularly love the limited. It was, again, very fast. Too fast. Next rare. Hey, okay, so there's a Razor Verge Thicket. And actually, what's funny is the fast lands at this point, you could even say that these might even be a little bit underrated because most of them, I think, with the exception of maybe Dark Slick Shores, I believe is one of the rares that is above $3 in value. I think it's like $5. The rest of them are still kind of under $3 right now. And they don't feel bad as a pull. There's a Commander rare. I actually kind of forgot about that. Lux Artillery, sure. Urbrask's Anointer. All right. Drowning Acre, actually a pretty good spell as well. Pretty good uncommon. I knew like a lot of people do like the Phyrexian lands as well. So Mondrak is the really big chase. If we hit a Mondrak, we're probably going to be in overwhelmingly good shape since it's like $42 or something like that. Elish Norn would also be quite awesome. Beyond that, we're looking for like Sulfum, Veraska. I actually wouldn't mind pulling a Jace. I would be happy about that. Bladed War Whip, Dragon Glider, Dragon Wing Glider, Furnace Punisher, Necrogen Rock Priest. Yeah. Unfortunately, when it's still, when most of the value is in Mythics, you're kind of sitting around and you don't have a lot going on in the rares. Urbrask Forge is one of those rares that does have value, by the way. I think it's like $7 at this point. But you're just kind of sitting around waiting for Mythics. Looks like we might have a list card here. Again, I've completely forgotten what is on the list here. Oh, Mana Geyser. Okay. That's decent. That's kind of cool. I'll throw the list cards up here. Why not? Sawblade Scamp. Venerated Rot Priest. I don't think Rot Priest is above 3 at this point in time. I think it's like right on the cusp, like $2 to $3, but we'll put it up top. Definitely a good quality rare, right? And at one point it was like a $12 card, so there's that. The one comment I've kind of made about this set that I think is kind of fair is that since most of our sets are just one and done, we don't have blocks anymore. That while Phyrexia will be one and Poison and some of the Phyrexian stuff was very popular when the set was out, there since hasn't been basically any support for the set. Not a lot of Poison going on outside of this set. So what you see is what you get as far as like if you wanted to. Hey, there we go. Let's go. First Mythic of the box, and it is a really good one. In fact, it is the best one. That's the one we want to pull. That is Mondrak Glory Dominus. If you are unfamiliar with this card, feel free to pause and read, because it is quite good. There you go. Well, that gets us on the board. I almost feel like this card is an outlier, and so when I was kind of looking at math, I was like, okay, like I'll remove the $3 Mythics, and I'll remove the $140 Mythic, and then I'll add up the rest of them and divide it by 16, the remaining amount. And I think the average dollar amount for a Mythic was like $9.50 or something like that. But it didn't feel right to include this because it's so heads and tails above the rest in value right now. But I'll shut up. This is exactly the Mythic you want, and I am pumped about that. Let's go. Followed by a Nissa. Nissa, I think, is in the neighborhood of $5. The Phyrexian text is actually, it's really funny. I think that it was, I don't want to say gimmick. I think it was a really cool novelty when we started getting Phyrexian text as a language, and first people really wanted them, and then once people started playing the cards, they're like, right, I have to know the words on these, huh? Nissa is a really, really good card. Yeah, just go ahead and feel free to read it. I'll pause. There you go. And, But I think Nissa is in the neighborhood of like $5. Where I was going with the Phyrexian text is that they actually tend to be a little bit less valuable than the base copies now, because unless you know the card like Stone Cold, like you just know the verbiage, it's useless. Like you otherwise have to know it. But Nissa is a beast. Craterhoof Nissa is another name for that I have for that card. Noxious Assault. Ah, what a pack though. Whew. That was a pack. Man, oh man. Sitting around waiting for our first Mythic, and why don't we just go ahead and pull 2 of them? Yeah, there we go. That is very, very exciting. Do we have a list card here? Appears we might. It is Barbarian Ring. Good old Barbarian Ring. So another uncommon. Well, actually, this is a common. The first one was a common. Oh, hey, Tyvar. Tyvar's a decent rare. Tyvar does see some play. I think it's like $1 or $2, but it is at least a quality rare. I will put it up top. I can't remember what talking point I had before the Mondrak. Little distracted there after that. But a fun format. It was fun to revisit. Oh, I was saying that's what it was. Is that if you wanted to build poison counter decks or whatever, like what you see is what you get. It didn't get any support afterwards. That's kind of the one things you lose by not having blocks. Criddle, so we have a Baldur's, AFR. We have an AFR showcase uncommon off of the list. Criddle of Baldur's Gate. Found that to be a weird inclusion on the list. Kemba, Ka Enduring, as our rare. Quicksilver Fisher, Infectious Bite. And that will do it there. Again, I don't remember there's anything to write home about on the list. There's only a handful of sets where I actually am like, the list is where I want to be. Shatterstorm, an oldie but a goodie. Good old Shatterstorm. That's an uncommon from, what is it, 10th edition? Destroy all artifacts. They can't be regenerated. Pretty good. Necrosquito. Red Sun's Twilight as the rare. Skyhunter Strike Force. Is that a commander? It is. Oh, it's got melee. Yeah, and lieutenant. Actually, not bad. That is decent. Quicksilver Fisher. I'll be admittedly, I actually kind of forgot to look at the commander list because I forgot that those cards come in the set boxes for a minute. All right. I think Phyrexia All Will Be One is a fairly well-received set. I think that would be a fair assessment. Some good, powerful cards. See some play. Some really good stuff that translates over to Commander very well. Urbrask's Anointer. Miglaz, Maze Crusher. That card crushed me more than a few times in Draft. Sawblade Scamp. I miss blocks. I kind of wish they would bring those back. I would not mind pulling in a track, so thank you. All right, that is we're into our second column. I kind of failed to say that. We started our second column a couple packs ago. We are well on the board with the Mondrak. We are at least hey, there we go. There's a really sweet mythic as well. Tyrannix Rex. I feature this card, not feature because I don't make it my commander because it can't be, but I put this card in as many decks as I can where I'm playing green because I like big stoppy creatures, and this guy fits that mold. 7 for an 8/8, can't be countered, trample, ward 4, and haste with toxic 4. That will do some damage, and I think Tyrannix Rex is relatively, I'm going to say inexpensive. I think it's like $5 or $6, but it is a card I really like. I have a few in my personal collection, and this will go right there with them. So super pleased with that. Very, very pleased with that. Sinew Dancer. Gleeful Demolition. That's a pretty good uncommon. And, of course, Sheoldred's Edict as well. Yeah, I think, I wish that we could go back to having blocks. Where at least you get some pretty consistent themes and mechanics for at least a couple of sets. I think, especially for Standard, where... Again, if you wanted to build a poison deck and you thought you were off to the races with All Will Be One, and then you're like, well, that's all I get, huh? So this is my card pool to work with. Great. Zenith Chronicler. Thrumming-Bird again. Cacophony Scamp. Pretty good uncommon as well. Do believe that is seeing some play. All right. Oh, hey! All right, well, there is a list hit. That is a Goldspan Dragon. Very, very cool. Obviously, Goldspan used to be a, well, maybe not so obviously. I don't know. This card used to be a big time card. Still, I do believe it carries some value still. I can't remember what range it's at. It might be in the $8 to $10 range. But that is a really good list hit, and I'll put it up top there because that is quite a good mythic. Quite good. Sees play in Dragons. Definitely saw play while it was in Standard, like a lot of play. There's a White Sun's Twilight, and as far as rares go, that is, while not necessarily valuable, he's still very, very good rare. Not bad at all. Minor Misstep, pretty good card. Well, I feel like this box is producing. I wasn't necessarily sure as far as like the ceiling value is concerned. Obviously, if you hit Mondrak, you're in good shape. But I like the high appeal of having 17 out of 20 mythics all carrying at least some value. And then enough value in the rares where like, hey, there's 7 or 8 rares in this set that have $3 or more in value. So there we go. There's our next mythic. It is Drivnod, Carnage Dominus. That all the Domini, I don't know. They're all really good in their own right. And I think Drivnod is also pretty good. 5 for an 8/3. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of that permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. And then for 2 Phyrexia mana, you don't have to pay any actual mana. Exile 3 creature cards from your graveyard and put an indestructible counter on Drivnod. Yeah, that'll play. That will in fact play. All right. Sprinter. And there's our second signature card. That's, I think, Nahiri. That is one of the mythics we don't actually really want to see. Okay. So as far as other big value targets are concerned, if we're being super greedy, Elish Norn would be the next one. Attracts after that, Sulfum and Vraska following right behind. Oh, Mycosynth Guards. Another card that came out with a lot of hype to it, and it does see some play, specifically I think in Amulet Titan. But not a ton beyond that. But a card that I still think is like sneaky good and maybe even undervalued at this point is Mycosynth Guards. So I like that. I don't think it's one of our $3 plus targets, but it's good. Goliath Hatchery, Might Overseer. That's a 3 rare pack. Foil, full art land. All right. Looks like we have 3 packs left in this middle column. We are moving right along. As much as I like to make fun of the list at times, and it's really funny because now we don't even have a list with play boxes. The list did deliver us a Goldspan Dragon, so no real complaints there. Exuberant Fusling as a foil uncommon. Rares. There's a good rare. That is one of the rares that does have value. Urbrask Forge seeing play. I think this is like in the neighborhood of like about $6 to $7. So that is strong. That is quite strong. Okay. I forgot how much equipment was in this set. Wild. Phyrexian Land, and there's our art card. All right, 2 packs left in this middle column. We are on the board with 5 Mythics at this point, so I feel like probably maybe 1 or 2 left. Geth, Thane of Contracts. The -1/-1, all other creatures you control really kills that reanimation ability. It's a card that I wanted to like, and I just don't think it quite does enough. Rebel Salvo. Ooh, foil Phyrexian Land. Sure. That one there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's what is it? Elspeth, I think. The Wanderer, something like that. I can't remember. Oh, another Mythic. Soul of New Phyrexia. M15 Mythic. 6 for 6/6 trample. Permanents you control gain indestructible. Exile Soul of New Phyrexia from your graveyard. Permanents you control gain indestructible. Interesting. All right. I don't think that's going to be a huge difference maker, but it is a Mythic. We'll throw it up top. Mercurial Spelldancer, also another card that came out with a bunch of hype, was seeing a little bit of play originally, and over time kind of died off, and thus the value went down with it. I remember at one point people were testing that card. Was it Legacy? Might have been. Might have been, and it was like initially like a $10 to $12 card, and then like down to $4 real quick, and then now like nothing. Okay, here we go. We're in the last column now. How many more Mythics can we squeeze out of this box? Gulping Skulltrap, Kaito. It's a rare Kaito, but Kaito. We have multiple Kaitos in standard. How about that? What do we have? 2 or 3? So Kaito the Dancing Shadow. That's a pretty good rare. Put that up top. Not a big value target, but it is a decent rare. Trawler Drake. Drowning Ichor again. I actually don't think I've seen us hit any Tyvar stands. We are technically counting the list, which has given us 2 Mythics. We are at 6 in total? Yeah, 6 in total. But I'm hoping that's only 4 set Mythics. So I'm hoping we get at least 1 or 2 more. Paladin of Predation. There. Or we can just go ahead and pull the best 2 Mythics in the set. Yeah. There was a time when Elish Norn actually was like what was it, 40? Did we have this thing at 40? It was at least in the 30s. It is still a really good Mythic in the $22 range Mythic. The second most valuable Mythic at this point. So we have hit the top 2 Mythics in this set. Can't be mad. And this card is also just an absolute menace. 5 for a 4/7 Vigilance. If a permanent you control triggers, it triggers twice, and permanents your opponents control don't trigger at all. That's a card. Unctus Grand Metattack in the Ichor Slick version. Thrumming Bird. Well, this ends up being a really good box for us. Like, pretty much regardless. All right. Thank you, Phyrexia. All will be one. Ambulatory Edifice. Skrell's Hive. Also a really good rare. Just kind of like right below that $3 range. It's still, I'm going to put it up top, but, you know, obviously it has striking similarities to Bitter Blossom, but it is no Bitter Blossom. And honestly, again, I'll just go back to the other point where if there were other sets that had been produced that are in Standard currently that were also poison focused that allowed you to get corrupted more easily than working with just the pool of cards in the set, I bet this card is a lot more valuable, but it really does also suffer from that as well. Like, it'll still see play in token strategies and in commander decks, but like kind of just barely making that cut in a lot of decks. There's a foil Phyrexian Swamp. And, oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, hey, is that Junji Ito gold stamp? That's kind of cool. Well, that's, I don't really break for art cards, but hey, as far as gold stamped art cards go, that's kind of sweet. Okay. Handful of packs left. Furnace, Skull Bomb, Copperline Gorge. There we go. We were due for another land. That's cool. Copperline Gorge. And again, I don't mind. I know it's you know, maybe $1 to $2 as a fast land at this moment, but I don't really mind it. This doesn't feel bad to pull a land that I know does see play in various formats. And how about we just go ahead and pull an Ickerslick Phyrexian Obliterator as well. Not bad at all. Probably in the neighborhood of about, let's say $8. I think that's what the regular copy is, and so I would imagine like the borderless version is within $1 or $2 plus or minus. So there we go. But that is still another really good mythic. Really, really good mythic. Not unhappy with that even a little bit. Cankerbloom, Necrogen, Rot Priest. Man, all those gold, all those green uncommons, and no Tyvar's stand. Sure. That is not really a complaint. This box has been excellent. Just an observation. All right. Moving right along. We might still have, well, we've gotten 2 mythics off the list, plus a couple of uncommons and commons. Might be still another list card in here, in these remaining packs. Evolved Spinoderm. Little throwback to Blastoderm and Calciderm. Sinew Dancer. Ossification. Also another uncommon that does see some play. Plains. And there's our art card. All right. Looks like we have 5 packs left. Get out of town. I told you I'd forgotten what was on the list, and apparently this version of the list is at least better than I remember, or we have just absolutely hit the the gold mine with the list hits in this box, getting a gold span, and now particularly an old Gnawbone. Last I checked, old Gnawbones were still in the like 20 plus range. I would say it's probably, I'm going to hedge and say between 20 and 25. Could be wrong off of that, but boy, that's a really good hit. Wow, the list, man. All right. Blue Sun's Twilight is a foil rare. That is our 3rd foil rare of the box for whatever it's worth. Is Zuri. Woo! This box. Okay. All right, box. You have my attention. 3 mythics off the list, and one of them is an old Gnawbone, and another one is Goldspan. Pretty good. All right. Cough. Hey, Cough's a decent rare. I feel like Cough might even be a little underplayed. He can run away with some games. Black Belly Rat. Vat Emergence, Incubation Sac, sure. Well, needless to say, regardless of what happens in these last 3 packs, I am not unhappy. We've hit just about everything you could want to hit, right? I mean, we've got another list pull, so there we go. We actually had 2 more because we had pulled the old Gnawbone. This is from War of the Spark. This is the Wanderer before we knew more about the Wanderer. Now we have a little bit more information. Infectious Inquiry. Mind Splice Apparatus. This is a card that I really like coming out of the set, and it does see a little bit of commander play, but maybe not enough. There's, I think that especially in like a Proliferate deck, this card can do some really nutty things. Monumental Corruption. There's another commander card. Furnace Punisher. Unctus's Retrofitter. Rib Skiff, Necrosquito. And that will do it there. All right, 2 packs left. Trawler Drake. Rare is Archfiend of Dross. This card had a moment, huh? Play it and then make your opponent take it when it only has when it's getting ready to run out of its last counter. It did have its moment. Urbrask's Anointer. Evolving Adaptive, that's kind of cool. Annex Century, sure. And sure. All right, last pack. Here we go. We are at, what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Mythics? I mean, 3 of them were off of the list. Good gravy. Rare. Oh, hey, Black Cleave Clips. I'm not unhappy with that. That's a solid way to end. Again, I think of the fast lands, I think only the Dark Slick Shores is above $3 at this point. But you know what? Cliffs might be as well. Cliffs might be as well. I think these might be the 2. Dark Cliff Shores, I think, is like 4 or 5, and I think this is just above 3. But hey, fast lands, I'm okay with that. Pretty decent land cycle for all the rest of that comes with this set as well. And a Tyvar stand. There we go. Again, that's the first one I saw out of this box, but that is like a $2 uncommon for whatever it's worth. Foil Swamp and the art card. So, in short, this box was awesome. Mondrak and Elishnorn, so the 2 most valuable Mythics right off the bat, out of the way. We also hit Phyrexian Obliterator, which is no slouch, Drivnod, which is fun, Tyrannix Rex, and Nissa, which are both good in their own right. And then the list delivered 3 Mythics, including Soul of New Phyrexia, Goldspan Dragon, and then Old Gnawbone, to go with a bunch of other really strong rares and playables. So I thought it would be fun to revisit Phyrexia OLB1, and it turns out it was. A pretty good box. Really fun to revisit. That's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button for me. Hit the like button for me. By all means, drop me some comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much, everybody, and be well.